All right, class, today we are going to be going over this packet. The packet focuses on working with proportional relationships, and we're going to take some notes. For our notes, I want to focus on three things. Those three things are identify proportional relationships from data, identify proportional relationships from graphs, and then you need to be able to write an equation to represent a proportional relationship and solve problems. So for the first section, they give you these problems where they give you these two fractions and they ask you if they're proportional. The way to figure it out is to multiply diagonally. So 36 times 2 and 6 times 12. Both of those will give you the answer of 72. Because they're both 72, that means that they are proportional. On the next one, we're going to do the same thing, 8 times 24 and 18 times 12. This time when you multiplied on both sides, they did not give you the same answer. 8 times 24 is 192, and 18 times 12 is 216. So to answer the question, this one is yes proportional, and this one is not proportional. You're going to be using the same type of math throughout the rest of the packet. On the next section, they give you a data table like this, and then you have to make the proportional relationship, or have to figure out if it's a proportional relationship by writing a proportion, making two fractions equal to each other. All right, so for this problem I made up, I have set up my equation. So 280 are together and 250 and 100 are together because they are together on the chart. Okay, you got to be consistent. If you have the boys with the boys, then on the other side of the equal sign, it has to be the girls with the girls in the same kind of way. Then we just got to do our cross multiplication, and we will find out if this is a proportional relationship. In this case, I did my cross multiplication. I got the same answer. So that means that, yes, it is a proportional relationship. So this next part in your packet is a little bit difficult, but I think you can do it. I think it's important that you read this stuff that's in your packet. Okay, just read through it, and then we'll tell you a lot, and you can read over it and figure things out. But I still will do an example problem right now. So in this example, we have a line, and I need to determine whether it's proportional and decide what the constant proportionality is. So the two things that we need to remember are, to be a proportional relationship, it has to be a straight line that crosses the origin. In this example, yes, it is straight. It does go through the origin. Now we have to figure out what the constant proportionality is, and it's always going to be y over x, and you can think about that as rise over run. So when I look at this problem, I'm going to find a point. I found one right here, and that goes up and it goes over to the next point. So in this example, my y value is going up 2, and the x value is going over 3. That means my constant proportionality is going to be 2 over 3. So the answer to this problem would look like this. Yes, it's proportional. Its constant proportionality is 2 over 3. All right, for this last section I'm going to talk about, it is writing an equation. This is going to meet the last target for our learning today. You're finding the constant proportionality and you're writing an equation. You need to follow these instructions. Read that in your packet. It will help you a lot. So when we are writing our equations, they're going to be in this format. Y equals mx, and the x and the y are your unknown variables. They're just going to stay y and x. The only thing that you're going to change is your constant proportionality for your equation. So that's your m letter. The letter m represents your constant proportionality. So I made up this example. You can color 40 eggs in 8 minutes. We need to figure out what our constant proportionality is, and then we need to find an equation. You could just say 40 over 8, and that would be okay, but I would prefer it if you would reduce it. So after I reduced it, I got my answer to be 5 over 1. Now, what that really means is you can do 5 eggs in every 1 minute. So we have to remember that our constant proportionality is y over x. So in this case, our eggs is our y and our minutes is the x. Now we can move on to writing our equation. So our equation is eggs is equal to 5 over 1 times the number of minutes, or you can just say y equals 5x. All right, so in this video, we went over how to identify proportional relationships from data, how to identify a proportional relationship with graphs, and we figured out how to write equations to represent proportional relationships, and then you would just go and apply those equations to solve the problems. Okay, so those three things, being able to do that should get you through this entire packet and through the stretch. Yes, it's going to be challenging, but it's up to you to go back and review other notes you have, go search other YouTube videos, figure out a way to figure things out and solve problems. You can do it. Last thing I want to talk about for your academics this week and for the rest of the school year are these two things, iReady and Mathia. Both of those things are available to you online, and you need to be getting on and trying to do these things. iReady is going to get you through stuff, and it will have interactive lessons for you and quizzes so you can test your own learning and figure things out, and it will give you feedback. And I think iReady is a great resource for you guys to use, and it's worth your while for sure. On Mathia, you know Mathia, you can do it. Use those hints, just be on there trying to do things. I opened up all of your modules so you can do math from the beginning of the year. You can do math that we haven't covered yet. You can do it all. And I know that I looked online and I saw some of you guys are already doing this stuff. So that's awesome. Good on you. Now go outside and have fun. Do something while it's nice out and enjoy the weather. And I'll see you next week.